What's up guys, my name is Panda. Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different and talk about all the maps in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. The past few days I've been trying to get a nuke, as you guys have been seeing on the channel. It's been very difficult because a lot of the maps are bad. So I wanted to go through every single one of the maps and see, which ones are actually good and how many bad ones there actually are. Because to me, there's a lot that I'm just backing out of because they're terrible to play. So let's hop into it and see what the Modern Warfare 2 map experience is like. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and let's get into it. All right, here we are on the map tier list. Some of these ones at the bottom don't have any names because I had to manually add them. This tier list didn't have them. So we're going to go through every single one of them, talk about which ones I like and why, and which ones obviously I don't. And the ones that I don't, they just play bad. I'll explain a little bit of it, but most of it's self-explanatory. All right, first up, Al Bagra Fortress. This one, to me, is a B map. Mainly, it would be higher if the balance was a little bit better as far as the spawns go. Like literally one side of the map has the biggest advantage. If you're spawning like the back main fort part of it where the mountain is, and if you're going up against a competent team, you're getting totally spawn trapped. There was no way to get out of there, especially if the kids can hit their shots. They literally had to take that control game mode out of ranked because of how lopsided and broken it was. So this would definitely be higher. Map layout was a little bit more balanced, but if you're on the opposite end, you're holding a team inside that fortress, godly. Other than that, that's why it's at a B, because just of the lopsidedness. And next up we have the Greenberg Hotel. I'm gonna actually put that at an A. I feel like this is pretty well balanced as far as how each lane goes. There's plenty of different flank routes that you can take. I think it's a pretty decent map. Next up we have Crown Raceway. This one is, this one's hard. It's like between an A and a B, but I'm gonna say it's more of like a high B because the lanes in this map are kind of annoying more than like not broken. And what I mean by that is one of the sides you got the racetrack and you got the freaking cars running by you every single like 10 seconds. It's insane. It's a cool like immersive part of it, but if you're trying to like listen for footsteps or trying to figure out where the enemy team is and you got freaking race cars zipping by your head, it is so annoying, especially if it causes you to die. It's just ridiculous. Okay, there's a lot of long sight lines for long shots. You can play a little bit closer. Inside part with the garage can be a little annoying because with the halfway up garages, it can be kind of annoying to get in and out of that really quickly. But overall, I think this map is a good middle ground. Next up, Dome. This is definitely an A tier. Absolutely a classic map. It's brought back every single year, I feel like, when it comes to Infinity War games. I don't think I really need to explain any more on that. Next up, El Asilo. This one is a pretty good map as well. There's a lot of long line sights for long shots. The inside building gameplay is really good. There's still little, medium line sights up on the second floor. Maneuverability, it's a pretty well balanced map. There is a lot of inconsistencies just depending on what kind of team you're playing, but I feel like this map overall is a decent map. Embassy, another decent map. I think this is more of a, now that I think about it, I'm gonna actually put Asilo down at B because would rather play on these maps more. The only reason I'm gonna put it down is because it's a little too big, but it's still not bad. And then we're gonna put Embassy at A tier because again, it's still pretty good. A lot of the lines of sight are pretty well manageable. Like you can definitely hold it, but it's easy to get around some of those long shot sights because of just the way that the map is positioned. I think this is a pretty well balanced map. It is definitely annoying when you get a lot of the campers with the doors. That's the one thing I probably would say is there's a little too many doors in this map. If they took some of the doors on the second floor out, I think that would be much better. That way you don't get a lot of campers in there. But overall, I think this map is pretty enjoyable. Next up, Farm 18. I think this is the one and only S tier map. This map is small, it's fast paced. Obviously you can get campers in the middle with shotguns and claymores, but you can really get that with any kind of map. But overall, I think this is the most well balanced, fun, creative map that we have here in Modern Warfare 2. It's so much fun. and you can really move and groove on this map, run and gun, or you can kind of post up on, you know, different lines of sight as well if you want. But in my opinion, Farm 18 is one of the best maps that we have. MWII Expo, this one's more of a mid-tier. I could take it or leave it. Don't mind it. It's just, you know, one of those okay maps. It flows decently well. A lot of high action on one side of the map, not necessarily on the other. So it's a little imbalanced that way, but overall, it's okay. Mercado Las Almas. This one is a good map as well. A lot of these maps have super power positions where if people really wanted to, they could just kind of camp out and hold down a position. And I'm specifically talking about one of the metal buildings on that side, one of the sides of the map. Like, it's just ridiculous how easy it is to like just kind of camp and post up in those buildings. And so that's definitely one of the more annoying parts of this map, but overall it's got the good line sights, it's got good close range battles. Overall, it's a pretty good map. And I think a lot of people would agree with that as well, because it's one of like the main ranked play maps in the game. Border Crossing, C, and at first I definitely would have put it at D with the exploding cars, just the mess that it was. But now that the cars don't explode, it's more of like a C map, a low C map, I will say, because still with such a long map, the lines of sight and just trying to get up to where the enemies are just takes forever. So much easier just to kind of camp and hold the lines of sight, because it's like a funnel. Like there's no good flank routes. There's no way to kind of get around to the enemy and try to fight them in a different angle. So in that way, it's definitely low C, high D for me. I think it's a pretty good one on this one. Lighting is a little off, but you know, shipment's pretty good. Hey, Shoot House. I'm gonna have to put it C. I don't know what they did to this shipment, but it is so much worse than the Modern Warfare 2019 version. Maybe because there's no movement, but this iteration of Shoot House in Modern Warfare 2 is so campy that it is almost unbearable. I really, really do not like playing it. It's borderline D for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because Shoot House on this game is so bad. Turok, I'm going to go with a C. I'm going to say high C, low B, because it really just kind of depends on what kind of players you're playing it. It's because you can get those campers who just sit in that middle section with their claymores and their shotguns and their riot shields, and it can be an awful time. And then you get like the campers in that back far building where they're just sniping, got posted up. There is a lot of camping in that map, but I like it because the map's a little bigger, where you can make those flanks around the entire map and just kind of go ham, which I tend to do. So I actually avoid a lot of the middle area and just rotate around the sides of the map. And I've had some pretty good success when it comes to that map. So that's why it's more of a high C, low B for me. Museum, I'm going to say the exact same thing for Museum. High C, low B for the exact same reasons as Turok. It's bigger, roam on the outsides. You can get some good flanks on that way. Hydroelectric, I'm going to put out an A. This is a great map. It's not quite god tier like Farm 18, but it's one of my favorite maps because of the flank routes. You can go underwater, take those routes. The creativity in this map is really good as far as pushing a team and trying to, you know, find different angles to fight them. There's some really good power positions on top of like that half dome. I thought they did a really good job with that. But overall, again, it's one of my favorite maps in this game. It just plays overall really, really well. Just realized the two maps that we got this season, season 6, are not on here. I'm going to leave those ones off. I haven't played those too much, so I'm going to leave them off the list. Let me know what you guys think of those new maps down in the comment section below. And then we got here Black Gold. This is borderline like unplayable. Every single time I will not play it. I played it a few times. Absolutely horrendous experience. I hate night vision maps. Just awful. It may play a little better if it's in the day, but overall, terrible map. Hatchery, I don't really like. It's just too much long camping lines of sight. The unbalance between each sides. One's got a high ground, one's got low ground. It just doesn't feel great. It's a little smaller in the sense of there's not really great flanking routes. It's a lot of just face to face, one line sight looking at another line sight fighting. and it's kind of boring in that sense. This zone map, I haven't got too much time on it, but I feel like it's a good middle tier map. Next up, we have the Kunstenaar district. This is, I would say, high C, low B. Again, the flank rounds aren't really there. It's just straightforward lines of sight. Looking at other lines of sight, fighting is kind of boring in that sense. I would rather not play this whenever it comes up. It does have its moments where you can kind of fly and fry, but most of the time it's just kind of posting up from one line sight to another, just looking down, shooting, moving to the next line of sight, looking down. It's boring in that sense, so that's why I'm going to put it at C. Paleo's Lighthouse. This one's interesting. I'm going to put it at a C because I've actually had some really good games with this because it does have those flank routes that I like, but I don't really like the dark setting, the rain, the lightning, just a lot of like the weird ambient sounds that take away from the gameplay. But I've had some pretty good games on this, so I'm going to put a high C, low B area. I think mainly the nighttime maps I don't feel are very well lit, so it can be a little jarring when you're trying to fight and see enemies. So overall, it's just a low tier map. Puntamar. I'm going to put this at a low B. It's fine. There are some decent flank routes and different lanes that you can take. The rooftops and the camping capabilities on this map are just a little too much for me. It's very annoying. You can have some decent games on this, but I feel like the overall flow isn't very good on this map. Is this Showdown? Yeah, Showdown. I'm gonna put out a high B. It's fine. I mean, it's a remake from COD 4. It plays pretty well. Not much more to say about that. And then we have Strike, another COD 4 remake. I do not like this map. It does not play very well on Modern Warfare 2. I've never had a good experience with it. Most of the time, people are just kind of sitting in different rooms or lines of sight just camping, and there's not a lot of angles to take to try to counteract those people. It's a very boring map. I feel like to be successful on that map, you just have to sit in a spot and camp. That's it. It's a pretty boring map. Waterfront, C. Waterfront, I'm gonna put out actually a low B. It's an okay map. You got some different flanks you can take with the water, but I really don't like how much water there is. And if you go anywhere in the middle map, there's just so many different angles you can get shot from. There's no great power positions, which is fine, but the way that the map really lays out, like nowhere safe. You can get on that far side of the map where you got that really long lines of sight, but if you're not playing there going for long shots, the game can be a little sporadic, which could be fun at sometimes, but a lot of the times, like, it just feels like a lot of people are just on top of you, and I feel like the spawns are really bad. And that's one thing I will say about a lot of these maps. The maps could be better if the spawns were better, but most of the spawns are trash, which make the map experience really bad. But that is my map tier list for Modern Warfare 2. Let me know, guys, what you think about this list down in the comments. If you want to add or critique any of the takes that I have, let me know down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.